Hello and welcome to another Beard Clipper First. In this video I'm going to do my first playthrough of Unbroken, and when I say first playthrough I mean that. I've literally never played this before, so you're going to have a chance to see me making lots of mistakes, I'm sure, but hopefully having a lot of fun. I'm in room 13, as you can see, with the fire going because it is cold, so I'm going to set myself up at my painting station rather than on the gaming table, just because it's easier to stay warm in here, and it was in the minuses last night. So give me a couple of minutes to get set up, I'll turn the camera around and let's see how much fun we can have with Unbroken, a solo game of survival and revenge by Artem Safarov. Wow, that was quite a challenge. I will take a photograph and share just exactly what kind of jury rigging I have done. I may have to pause during the video to readjust if this isn't working, but I can see that you can see the game, and so that's good enough for me. And obviously I have my little lapel mic which has helped me get better sound recently. So let's have a look. Let's first of all set ourselves up. So as you open the box, I've already been through this, but very briefly, you have your rules reference guide, you have your very lovely dice storage bag, you have your place markers, a score sheet, some conditions, some skills, some encounter cards, weapons and a symbol guide, quick start guide, achievements and the monsters. So what we'll do is we will go to here and we will have a look at how we should be setting this up. So you set up, so you get out your, oh, and there's the dice, which is actually my favourite thing of the whole game. It really is lovely. So you have the time tracker on the right and you have the resource tracker on the left. Select a character sheet, so shuffle the skill deck. So let's open, look at how much this is how little I've used this. I actually haven't. It's still in its packing. I do actually need to get some sleeves for these, but quality content there. So we'll get rid of the blank skills. Shuffle the skill deck and place face down. So let's give it a shuffle. I have not played card games for a little while, so my shuffling skills are not great. So we will place these down here where you can see them, I believe. I'm going to have to be a little off to get this in shot, which is a bit of a shame. So here's the skill set. The next one, get the conditions. Place a condition set face down and unshuffled. Okay, so they're slightly different. So there's the condition set. Okay, select a character sheet. So my character sheets, there's a monster. Monsters, 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 where are my characters? I'm going to pause briefly and have a little bit of a search, and I'll be back when I've found this item. Everything is okay, I found them. They were in the cellophane that was sat right here, just out of shot. And I had seen them before, I knew I'd seen them before. So yeah, so what we're going to look at, we're going to decide whether we go for the Sage, the Sneak, the Huntress or the Brawler. Now I'm going to go for the Brawler. So I'll pop that here. Let me just quickly adjust this slightly. And I'm sorry for this terrible unpreparedness. There we are, it's very difficult. I'm not really set up for this. It wasn't really part of my plan to do these sorts of videos, but hey. Okay, so we have picked out our Character sheet. The Brawler. I've seen worse. Just a scratch. So what it says is put your blue token as shown here, and that is you're putting it on the little awesome slash 1. So let's put a little blue token there. There we are. Place your bare hands weapon sheet. There we are. Face up. There we are. Shuffle the encounter deck, which I'm not going to do because there's way too many of them. And I'll put that there. There's the encounter deck. Place the monster sheets ordered top to bottom. The monster sheets are here. And you put them over here. There we are. Let's get that dice out of the way. This is going okay. Place your tracker sheets and blue and red tokens as shown. So let's tip out all of our tokens. What we do is we start with cunning, with metal, with wood, and food, and treasure, all on the 0. We then put another token on 13 on our effort tracker. We put another blue token for the 2 types of attack here. Over here we are at level 1, so we put the red token there. We put the red token on the monster tracker on the 0. And the food tracker starts at 0, obviously. We then have some quick start, which is quite a good idea. So you have the combat phase and the travel phase, so that's going to help us out quite a lot. And then the scorecard and the achievements to the side until the end of the game. So reach across, move that out the way so it's not cluttering. There's the scorecard. I have my dice. What I will do is I will put my dice so that when I'm throwing the dice, where's going to be the best so you can see it. Let's put it up there. That's where I'll roll the dice, in the box. Classic. Okay, so I don't know how long exactly that's taken me to set up, but not very long, considering that I haven't even looked at it before. So let's turn over. So you have different resource types. You've got different effort levels. You have a tracker of all of your resources here. If you look at the monsters, you have different response and effects. You have different weapons. It's not a massively complicated game, but it's going to be fun to play it on first. We're going to do it on easy first. You want to learn the game or test out new strategies, so we're going to play on easy. On easy, you roll the 6-sided slashes dice once during setup to determine an extra starting resource. So let's do that. Let's roll this dice. Well, hey, I like this dice. I got a 6. Treasure. So my treasure goes up by 1. Not that I really wanted treasure. I would much rather have had either food or medium effort, but yeah, okay, so that's that. You also begin the game with a skill card, and you begin the game on 15 effort. Oh, that's okay, good. So we're up to a bit more 15 effort, and I am draw 2 and keep 1. So I've just drawn 2 skill cards. Let's hold them up. I won't do too much spoilering on this, but I will show you what I've got. I have awareness, or tinker. So I have, you hear the faintest noise, see the slightest movement, feel the smallest trembles. You're aware of the thieving beast's attempts to steal from you. So catching you off guard will not be easy. This heightened perception gets you through any dire situation you're sure to face, any dire situation. So the passive is ignore all steal effects in combat. That's pretty cool. And the response is after the ambush, beginning of the ambush step, spend 2 normal small efforts to ignore the monster's ambush effect. That's really good. However, Tinker's also pretty good. You can use whatever resources at your disposal to dispatch your foes in more creative ways than ever before. There is almost nothing you cannot use. A scrap of iron here, a splintered board there, and voila, you've become the Dark's very own cloaked tinkerer. And that says that you can use wood or metal interchangeably. Now, I'm going to discard that one and I'm going to use awareness. So I think that's quite useful, not having anything stolen during a combat, and also being able to ignore the ambush is going to be quite useful. Okay, so brilliant. So we have gained ourselves an extra treasure, and the player takes the first turn during the battle step. That's another thing. And I have 15 small effort as opposed to 13, and I've drawn my skill card. So that's difficulty setting easy. Gameplay. In Unbroken, the game consists of 2 phases in this order: travel phase and combat phase. Each phase is broken down into steps that will be explained in the following pages. While playing, refer to the quick start, and this is here. So the preparation step. Take as many general travel actions as you wish. After each action, does the time tracker reach 0? Yes, go to 1A. No, decision step. Okay, so let's have a look. So the travel phase. In the travel phase, you will spend time preparing for battle. Look around for supplies and rest for the combat. So you may take as many general actions and travel actions as you wish during this step. Available actions are described on the actions guide, your character sheet, skill cards, and any other cards currently in play. So where's my actions guide? I saw it. Here's the actions guide. There we are. So I can focus. So I can spend 4 effort to gain 1 extra effort. I can take inspiration. So I can spend 2 medium effort to gain a large effort. I can craft, which is upgrade my weapon. To upgrade to a club or to upgrade to a knife. I can scout. Okay, so I just skipped a bit because I was reading, and that was probably quite boring for watching, so let's just cut that right out of there. So what you can do is you can do some actions, and then you're going to do the exploration, and then when you run out of time, you can either choose at any point to do a combat, or if you run out of time, you have to do a combat. But if you run out of time, then it's the ambush step. But that's what my awareness is going to help me out. So it's going to give me a little bit of a little more chance on this time tracker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do no preparation steps. I'm going to do an encounter. So when I go to the exploration step, I reveal 2 encounter cards and choose which one I'm going to do. So I have Old Cartographer's Map or Golden Amulet. So the Old Cartographer's Map is going to take 1 time, and it is going to be spend 1 small action to gain food. That's pretty cool. The Golden Amulet is spend 2 time to get 3 extra small efforts. Ooh. That's a tough choice. However, I do know I need food, so I'm going to discard the Golden Amulet and I'm going to use the Old Cartographer's Map. So I'm going to go down by 1 time. However, I'm going to spend 1 small effort and I'm going to gain a food. There we are. And then I believe I discard that as well. Okay. So after the exploration step, you can either rest, which is receive 1 food, or you can do the encounter. So I did the encounter. Yeah, so I did the encounter, which gave me the food, but I could have rested and got that food anyway. So that was a bit odd. So now I lose the time. And what I do now is I go back to the preparation step until that time tracker goes down. So I'm going to do another encounter. So I have Burying a Friend, which I can't use because I don't have any of that energy. So I'm going to have to do a look ahead. So staring ahead with grim determination, you harness the anger within, leading you to a better plan for whatever waits around the corner of this underground maze. With dead ends and winding pathways, the last thing you want to do is retrace your steps. So I can spend 1 of my energy. There is 0 time that I use, which is good. And so that doesn't take me down any time, and I'm going to be able to reveal 3 additional cards in the next exploration. So we're going to spend 1 energy, and then I'm going to be able to decide whether I'm going to go back to my next preparation step. Now because of that, I actually get to draw 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, and have a quick look at what I've got here. So we have suspicious fruit. You vaguely remember this fruit being poisonous. You're careful when picking them, aware that they've somehow affected your companions not long ago. Skulls appear in the air and you're not sure if you're hallucinating. Ravenous hunger. Some of your scarce food will go a long way towards making you stronger for the dangers lurking in the shadows. For the beasts might attack you at any time, and this gives me 5 extra small energy, which is pretty good. I can't do the boar ambush because I do not have the I do not have any of the big energy. Aha, discarded lumber. Now that could be very useful. That's tempting. Yes, I think I'm going to do that. So it's going to be spend 1 time, and so it's going to take 1 time down, and I get 1 lumber. So that's good. Okay, so next encounter. I'm not going to fight the monster for now, no. So I picked 2. Aha! So I can spend 2 time and take a rest, or I can spend the wood I just got and gain 2 medium energy. Remains of a small fire. You satisfy its hunger and it returns warmth, crackling and burning from within. Your strength swells with the flames, leaving you a force to be reckoned with. So having just got that wood, I'm going to spend that wood and I'm going to gain 2. But that does also take me down by 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're starting to get a little close to this encounter. So I'm going to start thinking what I'm going to do here. Do I do an action? So the actions I can do is I can focus, so I could spend 4 of my effort to gain another medium. I can plan, which will give me the cunning token, which I can't remember what happens with it. Ultima. I can orienteer, or I can scout. I think I'm going to scout. So that's going to be 1 energy and 1 time, and it's going to reveal the monster. It is a giant spider. Okay, so when you take the scout travel action during the preparation step, roll the 6-sided slasher dice. Oops. Pick the monster number. Mark with the number you have rolled from the monster sheets. Oh, right, okay, so we need to roll a dice. I did that wrong. So we're going to roll again. Oh, I got a 6 again. These dice are great. So let's go, monster level. That's the blank one, don't need that. So monster level 6. Ah, it's at the bottom. So I get the were-rat. Oof. Let's discard those. So I get the were-rat. So the were-rat, on an ambush, I'm going to lose 4 time. That's not good. And trickery is 2 effort. So my choice is I'm going to fight the monster now. The trickery step. Reveal the monster if not yet revealed. Reset time. Will you trick the monster? So the trickery cost is 2 energy. Let's do the trickery cost, because I've got quite a lot of energy at the moment, so I'm going to trick the monster, which is 2 energy. That means I spend the food equal to the current level. For every 1 you eat, for every 1 meat you eat, gain 1 energy. So 1 meat, and I gain 1 energy back. Okay, and then you advance to the next level. So fill the character ability bar up to the current level. Discard any active condition cards you have. I don't have any. Apply the condition cards you gained. Go to the step 1. Okay, so we're going to go up to level 2. I believe this jumps up to there. And that's that. So I have defeated the were-rat by trickery using stuff. So now we go to the next step. So that's very easy, isn't it? So maybe this next step will be a bit more interesting. So the effort is still there. So I still need to. What can I do with my? Yeah, so let's do an exploration step. So an exploration step is I'm going to gain the armoured condition. An old fabled emblem of a snarling wolf adorns the now abandoned armour. Donning it might serve you well for the battles to come. That sounds good to me. And I don't have any wood anyway, so I can't do that one. So gain the armoured condition immediately. So now I need to find my conditions. Ah, here we are. And I need to find... So let's get rid of those blank ones. Paranoid, cursed, weakened, armoured. There we are. Good. Right, so the armoured condition. After suffering a wound effect, place a token on this card to ignore it. After placing the second token on this card, discover it from play. So basically this means that I could ignore at least one wound. That's pretty good. However, it did take 2 time. Don't forget that, Andrew. 2 time. Okay, so that was my exploration step, and I've done the encounter, and I lost the time, so now I'm going to go back to the preparation step. Now, I think I'm going to scout ahead. Now, that does take 2 time and 2 small effort. Now I'm level 2, so 2 time, 2 small effort. Let's scout ahead. I get a 1, level 2. Ignore that one. There we are. So it's the abomination. Goodness me. The abomination. Let's have a look at this. So on the ambush, I lose I lose 1 of the effort, and I downgrade the weapon. However, I don't think I can downgrade because I have bare hands. So being ambushed by him isn't too bad. Trickery, I can't do trickery. So I think this one we're just going to spend our time, and then we're going to allow ourselves to be ambushed because, well, it's not a big issue. I don't even need to be worrying about my awareness. I can ignore the steal if it does take anything. Yes, so it's a steal. So yeah, so that's good. So let's keep going. So we've done our decision step. We're now going to do an exploration step. So do I want to take multiple cards? No, I'm just going to keep going through this. Okay. So we have, instrument of torture, coated in dried blood with no fur in sight. So discarded weaponry or instrument of torture, both of which give me a metal, which is very good. One of them takes 1 effort, and one of them is commit to the next encounter. So I draw that, and I have to do it. I'm going to go for that one because that's fun. So it's going to take 1 time. So I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to get 1 metal, and I'm going to draw 1 encounter card and commit to it. Oh, look at that. I gained some food. That's exactly what I needed because I'm going to get hungry, but it's going to take me 2 time down. But that's not a problem because, as I've said, I'm going to allow myself to be ambushed because that's fine. So we're going to do another exploration step. I can get some more food, which I need because I'm level 2 now, and at the end of level 2 I have to eat 2 food, otherwise I start losing energy. So I can either do a abandoned hovel, so I can get myself the little fox head, or I can gain 2 food. I'm going to spend 2 small energy, 9 to 7, and I'm going to gain some food. There we are. And how much time should I have taken? I apologise. No time. Brilliant. Didn't even take any time to do that. So let's carry on. 2 more. Eavesdropping. So I can either spend one of my large energies to gain 2 cunning, or I can commit to the next encounter to gain 1 cunning. That one only takes 1 time off, that one takes 2 off. I think I want my energy because, yeah, I can make use of both of those and with my bare hands to do 3 damage, and this one takes 6 damage. So, yeah, I think I'm going to spend 1 time and commit to the next encounter. Let's just tidy these discarded encounter cards. Ooh! I gain 2 of that, but I go down to 0. There we are. You spend a long time tracking a pack of reptilian creatures, learning their movements by studying the trail they leave behind. Ahead, you notice a set of smaller footprints resembling those of a fox. You remember seeing those tracks before. Okay, so that's that. So I'm about to be ambushed. Okay, so that means that I lose 1 small effort and my weapon is downgraded, but I can't downgrade my weapon. Okay, so I have been ambushed. Reveal the monster, reset time, apply the ambush effect. So I presume that goes to there. Okay, so you and the monster take turns in combat, make attacks and take actions to defeat the monster. Were you able to win? So let's have a look at the combat phase. It's battle step. The battle takes place over a series of rounds, which continue until either you have defeated the monster or you cannot spend effort when required. This happens either from collapsing from wounds or if food requirements cannot be met following the monster's defeat. Okay, so attack with a weapon. To attack with your weapon, spend the effort indicated on the current weapon sheet and apply the listed result. Attacks inflicting wounds are referred to as wounding, while those that get rid of armour are considered to be armour breaking. You may only choose to perform an armour breaking attack if the monster still has at least 1 armour left. Okay, so I'm not totally sure, but I don't think this one has armour. So what I'm going to do is am I going to upgrade to the knife? Or am I going to... No, I'm going to do the attack. So I'm going to put 3 wounds on the abomination in my attack. So move the wound token towards 0 on the monster's health resource bar 1 space. So where's the health tracker? Monster tracker. Aha. So down to 3. There we are. I didn't see that. And I'm going to use power through. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So that's that. So I've done that. So I don't know what my health should be set at. It's set, I presume it's 20. Combat outcomes, page 29. I hope this isn't too boring for you watching. So I'm going to roll now, and I get a 2. So surge, I inflict 1 more damage, but I lose an effort. So I have now got 2 wounds to do, and I can use 2 effort, 1, 2, to do 1 wound. Now I'm going to roll again and see what I get. I got a 1. I inflict a wound. I've won! Whee! So I think I did that right. I get, by reward, I get 1 of those efforts. I get 2 of the small effort. I get some treasure, some wood, and a skill. What's my skill? Resistant. You are strong, resilient. Shake off whatever foul afflictions and monstrosities might afflict upon you. This won't be your last breath, for you are gifted by the Undying. Now get up, you've got work to do. After a monster's combat action would cause you to gain a condition, you may gain 1 extra effort and reduce the combat result by 1. Limit 1 per turn. Okay, so that's a skill. There we are. So I did it. So I now upgrade. I spend my food. Yeah, so I pay 2 food. And I fill up my character ability bar to the current level. I was a little bit confused about that, but I think that just means I'm going to go up to, well, I am already. And yeah. Not sure about this health thing. I think I've got something wrong. Let me quickly go back again and have a look at this and see what this means. Okay, so we're just going to carry on. So I've managed to get through to level 3. That was unexpected. I didn't expect to get this far. I'm just going to pause now because I actually need to go and stoke the fire. This is not something that most YouTubers have to worry about, but yeah, living in Bulgaria, that's how it is. So I will be back very shortly. So I'm back and I'm ready to start round 3. The fire is burning nicely, so I'm not going to get cold. I'm quite surprised to still be going, actually. I thought I'd die very quickly, but it's been good fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think that my decision to trick the first one was a good idea, and I think that my decision to allow myself to be ambushed by the second monster was a good idea. But let's see if monster number 3 can finish me off, or worse. I need to get some food. I need to get some more effort, and yeah, I'm obviously in a little bit of strife when it comes to my small effort, so let's see what happens. Now what I'm going to decide to do, I have just had a little bit of time thinking about it and had actually started and forgotten to start recording, is I'm going to upgrade my bare hands to a knife, which takes 1 of my metal, my only metal, and a medium effort. So I'm going to upgrade to the knife, which will allow me to do a little bit better wounding, a little bit easier wounding on these monsters. So let's do an explore. Okay, so for 1 time I can spend 1 large effort, but I don't have any large effort, and that's a shame because that would have given me 2 of the foods, but I can't do that, so I can spend 1 of my cunning to gain 2 large effort, or I can rest. And that will give me 2 food. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to rest. It's going to take me... oh, I was on the wrong one. So, 2 time. 1, 2. There. So I'm going to rest, go down to 1, 2. Okay. However, that is going to give me 2 food, which is quite important because, as I say, I need to have 3 food, otherwise I'm going to start starving at the end of this round. Next, I'm going to decide, am I going to do a scout? So a scout travel action is going to take 1 of my cunnings and 1 of my time. So I am going to do that. So I'm going to do a cunning and a time, and I'm going to scout. So let's roll a dice. I get a 6 again. These dice rolled some 6s. There we are. Goodness me. Orc brute. There we are. The orc brute. So let's have a look at this. So if he ambushes me, he has 1 armor and he has 7 health. Oof. Oof. Oh, I realise I was on the armour. That's what it is. So this is the Monster Tracker armour and this is the Monster Tracker health. I did the wrong one. Never mind, it didn't matter. So this one has 1 armour and 7 health. There we are. So ambush, passive. Each time you suffer a wound effect, you lose +1 health. However, if I spend 2 effort, I can ignore that. For trickery, I can trick this one by spending 1 large effort and 2 cunning, which I don't have. But I have some time until I'm going to come across this, and I must admit that trickery thing is looking good. However, you're getting a good reward there. You're getting cunning, you're getting medium energy, some food, some time, either the axe or 3 metal. Cool. Yeah. Let's see what I get. So we're going to do an exploration step. So I can either rest, spend the time, okay, so I can pick this one, rest, spend 0 time and get 2 food. That's good. Or I can pick this one, spend 2 effort and gain 2 wood. I am going to... I'm going to go for food because I'm going to pick that one. I'm going to spend no time. No, I'm going to pick... you see, because if I got no time, I don't get any food. There's no rest. So I'm going to not do that. I'm going to get wood. I'm going to gain 3 wood. Got to 3 wood. There we are. And I'm going to spend 2 effort. Where am I? No, I'm going to rest and get food. So I'm going to spend the time, get some food. That's me done. Yep. Best decision. Best decision. Ooh, getting quite tense here. Didn't expect to be doing this well. So, I lose the time. And I'm doing this. So, finally I can get myself. So I could spend a cunning and gain 2 metal, which would mean I'd be able to upgrade that to a knife. And 2 time. Or I could spend 4 time and gain a large effort. Now a large effort will do 3 wounds. A large effort, a cunning and a fist will do 5 wounds. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to spend 4 time, down to 6, and gain that. Even though it was tempting to do the spear. Let's have a look at the spear. The spear... No, I think that's the right choice. I've got myself a good large effort there. Okay, but we're not going to allow ourselves to be ambushed this time, I don't think, or try not to. So let's do this too. Oh, so here we are. So, if I spend one of my foods, and if I beat this, I get a food back, I can gain another extra large effort and another effort there. I'm going to do that. So this is hunger pangs. So I'm going to eat some food. I'm going to get one of them back. I'm going to get one of them, which is even better, and I'm going to do 2 time. Right, this is where I need to decide whether I'm going to fight the orc or whether I'm going to risk another encounter because it's getting quite close. I think I'm going to go for another encounter because what could be wrong? Oh, it was a good choice. It was a good choice. So I can spend 1 time and gain 2 more effort, or I can spend 2 time and a wood and gain another large effort. Now, I am going to spend 1 time, gain 2 more effort. That's catching the breath, a bit of a rest. Now I have 1, 2, so I could very easily here get ambushed. But I do have my awareness, so yeah. Let's risk it. Risk it for a biscuit. Oof. Oof. So for 2 time and 1 large effort, I gain 3 wood. I'm going to do that because 1, 2, 3. Or am I? Am I going to allow myself to be ambushed? I'm going to allow myself to be ambushed. So I'm going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to go down there, which means there's going to be an ambush. And it's going to be an encounter. However, I can spend 2 of my, because I've got awareness, to avoid the ambush. So that was worth it. I got a net gain of 2. Great. So we're jumping up to the next level. And we're going to go for this. So for 1 large, 1 cunning and 1 effort, I'm going to deal 5 damage. 1 large, 1 cunning, 1 effort, down from 7 to 2. Hashtag boom. That was very well worthwhile with my knife. Actually, I think I've just cheated. So let's just have a think. And I may have miscalculated here. So, I don't think you can do any damage until you've got through the armour. Let me just double check this. You may only choose to perform an armour-breaking attack if the monster still has at least one armour left. Okay, so... attacks inflicting wounds are referred to as wounding, while those that get rid of armour are considered to be armour-breaking. So can you... so... so, on the muster roll, reset the arm's armour and health values to 0 following a victory. So I'm not totally sure. Whenever an effect instructs the monster to gain a certain amount of armour or health, doesn't seem to suggest that you have to break armour first. It's a bit odd. Let me have a quick look. See if there's anything on the back of this. Because surely I can't just stab through the armour. This is odd. I would have thought I must, so I think I'm going to say that I must do the armour, which means I have actually miscalculated, because I need to use my cunning, which I'd hoped to use to do this damage, to cause that to break. So there we are. However, I think I can swap... oops, I think I can swap efforts, but I'm not sure. I may have screwed up here quite badly and I might actually not get through this. Right, so let's do a roll. Let's see what he does. He gets a 1, which means I have, after suffering a wound effect, place a token on this card to ignore it. So I'm going to place a token on that card and I'm going to ignore it, so I don't lose anything there. So now I'm going to have to just spend 1 effort to do 1 wound, because, yeah, I don't have any other way of doing it, unfortunately. I can't upgrade because I don't have any steel. Yeah, so now it's going to be their turn. I think I've screwed up. A 2. So I lose 2 wounds. So it doesn't make any difference for me. So reduce the amount. So just a scratch. After losing a effort to a wound effect, reduce the amount of wounds lost by 1. So it's just a scratch. So I'm going to go down by 1. So now I am going to spend another effort to put another wound on. This is going to be tight. I don't think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to die. Because of that miscalculation with my cunning. A 4, that's not good. So I'm going to lose 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm now yeah, I think I'm going to die. Oh well, so that's that. And that takes me down by 1. And then let's see if he kills me. 1 wound. And I'm dead. Well, there we are. That was a 1 miscalculation. If I'd have had 2 cunning, I would have done very well. I would have basically beaten the Orc Brute, and that would have been awesome. But I didn't have 1 cunning, so what can I say? There we are, first playthrough. Gets a thumbs up. That was a lot of fun. There's a lot to think about. And while I think I might have made some mistakes, I have been left with 2 large efforts. Now, I don't know if I can swap large efforts for small efforts. I don't think I can. What I will do is I will have a quick flick through and then so you defeat the final okay, I didn't do anything. I don't think you can swap. I don't think you can swap efforts. So let's just say you can't. And I will wrap this up and we'll go back over by the fire because it's still a little bit cold, and close out the video. So there you have it, my first ever playthrough on camera. I don't know how long that video actually ended up being. It was a lot of fun, and while I did lose, I had fun while I was playing it. So I'm glad that I backed this game, as much as it was quite painful in terms of the fulfillment. Kickstarter is all about painful fulfillments. If you enjoyed this, please leave a comment below, and if you want me to do more videos like this where I'm playing games and doing that on camera, then let me know. It's something which I do want to do a bit of, but not too much. I like my terrain building, and I don't want this channel to become just playthroughs, but it would be nice to have a few maybe. So, as I say, leave a comment below. Please do subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and don't forget to ding the bell if you have subscribed so that you're told whenever one of my videos goes live. Thanks for watching, Beard Clipper.